Outside match the inside and regain your youthful appearance. Vitalize Health does accept insurance. Call them today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Ready for this?
1, 2, 3, up.
At Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, we help rebuild the lives of people who've experienced traumatic illness and injury. With clinical expertise, cutting-edge research, and innovative technology, Madonna delivers world-class rehabilitation for adults and children. We restore hope one step, one word, and one breakthrough at a time, so our patients and their families can have confidence when we tell them, now you can. Learn more at Madonna.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That was neat. We gave out 12 black shirts, and I know those guys are excited to get on the field on Saturday. That's what you can expect around here is a warm game early on in this league. So I think we'll have them ready to try to perform well.
Before you announce, what do you mean?
I don't know. I think you'll hear something.
From
I think you'll hear something.
From Nebraska?
I think you'll hear something.
Do you want to tell us?
If I wanted to tell you, I would. I think the focus is there. The guys are excited.
Good afternoon. Happy Monday.
I hate you.
This is the happy hour.
I hate you.
Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. That was Scott Frost.
You are literally the worst.
From his press conference today. Those 3 or 4 quotes in our open right there probably summed up the whole press conference right there. So
I think you'll hear something.
If you missed it,
I think you'll hear something.
You just heard it. So first of all, before we dive into the press conference more,
I'm making an executive decision.
Oh boy.
I'm making an executive decision.
What's the executive decision?
Tyler and Phoenix. No. You can't.
Why?
You can't do that. You can't do that. Unacceptable.
So it sounds like what Tyler and Phoenix did is he started at 159.
Yeah.
And it just said first for about 12 straight texts. Listen, man.
No, executive decision. You can't do that. I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I love the want to and the drive to win nothing. But no, I'm sorry, Tyler and Phoenix. Unacceptable. You have been eliminated from winning nothing today. And instead it goes to Connor Cheeks Guy. Congratulations, Connor Cheeks Guy. You are the winner of nothing.
So yeah, congrats to Connor Cheeks Guy. You were the first official text right at 2 p.m. Don, appreciate you attempting for the first time.
Colin and Lincoln really close.
Yep. Ubaldo says, can you get Big Voice Bob to say Nikki Cuffs? We sure can.
We can.
Is that something you guys want?
Do we want to? I don't know. Probably not.
I don't. I was trying to put Nikki Cuffs behind me.
You're never going to put Nikki Cuffs behind you. Sorry about it.
That's all right. Rico, how was your weekend? How's everything going?
Weekend was good. Didn't do much. Stayed at home. Yeah, stayed at home the whole time.
That's too bad. How excited on a scale of 1 to 10 are you for game 1?
Game 1, extremely excited.
Really?
Level 10.
Nebraska is favored
20.
by 7. Does Nebraska cover?
Up it.
So Nebraska covers.
Oh yeah, easy.
All right.
Easy cover.
This is what I want to do throughout the first segment. We're going to dissect the press conference a little bit. We'll talk about Nebraska volleyball as well. There's a lot of sound bites. All 4 captains spoke this afternoon. Obviously, Scott Frost spoke a little bit today as well. But this is where I want to hear from you guys. 402-464-5685. You can either call the Honda of Lincoln hotline or text the Starter Heyman text line. Both of those are open for you all show long. Here's what I'm curious about is what are you guys not necessarily nervous about? What's your biggest worry heading into week 0, game 1? or what are you most excited about? What gives you the most confidence? I want to hear from you guys, 402-464-5685. So, Rico, if you had to pick one thing, what are you most nervous about going into this weekend's game?
What am I most nervous about going into this weekend's game? I would have to go with left tackle.
Okay. So you're saying whether or not Turner Corcoran's able to play?
Well, not
Or
if
whether
Turner
it's-
Corcoran's able
whether
to
it's Brant
play
Banks.
or Brant Banks or anything, just how well it holds up.
Okay.
Because, obviously that is Adrian Martinez's blind side.
Okay.
It's very important. We saw what Turner Corcoran was able to do in the one game that he played last year, and he played really well as a true freshman. He's still technically a true freshman this year with the COVID stuff, but just whoever is there, if they are able to hold up their end of the bargain and keep a clean backside, blind side for Adrian Martinez, because if this offensive line, I don't know why, but I have a lot of faith in the rest of the offensive line, like left guard, center, right guard, whoever that happens to be, and right tackle. I have a lot of faith in the rest of the offensive line. It's just the left tackle that scares me.
I think I would agree with you there. That's one of them. Running back is also kind of a curious, I would say more curious than nervous in the running back situation to see who goes out there first. Is it going to be Marquise Stepp? Is it going to be Gabe Ervin? I truly think Marquise Stepp's going to be the first guy that heads out there for Nebraska. We're getting this off the text line from multiple people is our turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Very valid point there. Going back to the offensive line, one guy that actually doesn't worry me this year, and I don't have any reason other than
Not
what
to
I'm
worry.
hearing, what I'm hearing from his teammates. One guy I'm not concerned about Cam Jurgens doing his job.
You're not concerned about the snaps at all.
I'm not. And that's where I'm going to get blasted on the text line, but that's totally fine because if they're going to say, Nick, have you seen the snaps the last couple of years? Like yeah, I understand they're horrible, but I just kind of expect something like that to be cleaned up this year. And so Ethan Piper actually talked to the media today. He had a lot of good things. We'll dive into it deeper here in a second.
Ethan Piper might have broken some news. He said something about Matt Sichterman, and he's excited for him to get a start against Illinois.
Yeah, it sounds like, Matt Sichterman's kind of the guy at the right guard position, it sounds like. So here's what Ethan Piper said, though, about Cam Jurgens earlier today.
Cam Jurgens is the dude. He works hard. He's gritty. He's the definition of what a pipeline player should be. And for me, just to be next to him, I feel extremely honored. He elevates my game as well. And he's just the definition of what in the offense line room, we got all these definitions of what a pipeline is, and he fits every single category. He's just a dude. So
Cam Jurgens is just a dude, according to Ethan
Cam
Piper.
the dude Jurgens. No
Now,
more beef jerky.
I want to ask you this, Rico. How should this offensive line be able to discuss like what a pipeline is? Like that they know the definition of a pipeline?
Well, I think they should. You should know the definition of it. If you're trying to be the pipeline, you should know at least the definition of it. And I'm sure they've been working towards becoming exactly what that is. I mean, they have a pipeline burrito. They have a Twitter. Like they're working their way to becoming the pipeline again. And I mean, that's all you can ask for. You're not gonna. I don't know if you'll ever get the exact same, the exact replica or anything, but you can get close to it. You can get that type of production. Maybe not the exact type of production, but you can get guys that perform at an extremely high level, call themselves the pipeline. I mean, black shirts, you know what the definition of a black shirt is. The black shirts know the definition of the black shirt. The entire defense knows exactly what it is. It doesn't mean they're going to perform up to that exact level, but they know what they should do. They know how they should perform, how they should act. So they want to get up to that level. They know exactly what they need to do. It just comes down to execution.
Going back to the left tackle position with the whole Turner Corcoran and Brant Banks situation, Ethan Piper actually talked about that for a second. He talked about that situation and the benefits of both of them getting time at that left tackle position.
it really doesn't matter. Those two guys communicate. Honestly, sometimes I don't know who's on the left side of me. Sometimes they're rotating so much. And and like everybody rotates. So like I'll be going with the twos. Sometimes I'll be going with the ones. It's kind of like a mix. So I don't think there's going to be an issue at all with left tackle. I think both guys are capable.
So there you go. So it sounds like Brant Banks, they're able just to fluidly swap. and
Whoever's there, it works.
Ethan Piper doesn't know who is there. Piper said something very interesting today. He said something about the word that I keep thinking is just more apparent this season, this off season, is accountability between the team.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the guys, there was the talk today about, there's the players are starting to put out fires, as they kept going back to the term fires, and basically, bad practices and mess ups in practice, the fires, they're putting them out before it even gets to Scott Frost's plate. They're saying
that's fantastic.
It's awesome.
That's exactly what you want your players to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And Piper said something about, in recent years, it would be, a certain, you'd get in trouble if you messed up, but it seems like this year the punishment's harder. And so I want to play this clip for you about Ethan Piper saying, what is how do you have to pay it back if you get a penalty in practice, if you mess up in practice? Here's Ethan Piper one more time.
It really doesn't matter.
That is the wrong clip.
We're
going to turn that off here. Sorry. There it is. Is paying extra something new this year. Here it is.
Turn it back on the board.
Yeah, we've done it in the past, but it's been more of an emphasis. It's been more severe penalties, especially maybe last year it did like 15 push-ups. Now it's like you got to run like it's like a conditioning set. So
it's a whole conditioning set this year. They're more aggressive on their.
Good.
I agree.
Don't let it happen.
I agree. Control what you can control. That's my whole thought is, how do you prepare for this, for Illinois with a new coaching staff and all this as well? My whole thought process is just control what you can control. And you're going to have to make in-game adjustments. Ty Robinson talked about it today as well, is that they're going to have to be willing to make in-game adjustments, which maybe that's what I'm more worried about than anything else, is because this staff, these players more specifically, have yet to show the ability to make an in-game adjustment, whether they're playing Purdue, whether they're playing Ohio State, whether they're playing Illinois.
It has been shown time after time that the coaching staff, either they're not willing to or they're not able to make in-game adjustments, whether it be for something that they're doing or something that the opposing team is doing. Like if they're running the ball well, for some reason they seem to think, we should. It almost seems like they're trying to outsmart themselves or outsmart their opponent, where they're like, okay, we're running the ball well. You know what they won't expect? Us to pass it right here.
Yeah.
And then it's just a huge mess up. And it's like, no, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Or if a team is running the ball well against them or passing to a certain side, it doesn't seem like they make the correct adjustments to stop whatever is happening.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I just keep going back to the word accountability. And I said, I'm like, you feel like the players are starting to hold themselves to a higher standard more than in recent years from what we're hearing. And once again, that's all we can go off of is what we're hearing. And so, and that's another big thing is when you talk about accountability, it takes more than just the coaching staff to hold somebody accountable, because you have to have that buy-in from the players, full buy-in. It can't be half, can't be 3/4. You have to have that full buy-in from the players and the coaches, everybody involved, no matter how big of a part you play in, whether it's offensive or defensive. You have to have that full buy-in. 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line.
Jim.
We have Jim on the phone. Hey, Jim.
Hey there. Hey, to emphasize your point about not running successful plays, until they stop you. Do you remember what the longest play from scrimmage was last year until the Rutgers game? Where, we had several plays that were longer in that game, but until the Rutgers game, we had one play that was the longest play of the year. Remember when that was and what it was?
It's either the Luke McCaffrey run against Ohio State or the Xavier Betts pass catch.
Yeah, it was McCaffrey.
Okay.
McCaffrey. How many times did we run that game again, and how many times did we run it again during the season?
No mas uno.
Yeah, one.
Hey, yeah. That's like the Callahan playbook. He used to do that. Hey, this works. Let's try something else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like you said, trying to outsmart yourself instead of just pounding the other team or throwing the ball deep or whatever was working. Just say, no, hey, this works. Well, let's find something else that works. No, just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Until they stop it.
Well, yeah. Hey, thanks,
Yeah,
Jim, for the
Jim.
phone call.
And I'm not going to get I agree with Jim. If something's working, just keep it going. But also, I'm not gonna pretend to know exactly what's going on. Maybe they saw something on the play that they ran where they're like, oh, wait a minute, if we run this should work, So there's always these little nuances that coaches or analysts or somebody that's down on the field or up in the coach's box sees, where they're like, hey, we just saw this play right here should work in this situation. So there's always things like that. But from where I'm sitting, if you're running it at somebody and you're getting 5-6 yards a pop, just keep doing it until you don't.
Yeah, I think that it just goes back for me to that control what you can control, do what you feel comfortable doing and you're able to do. Like, I just keep thinking Wisconsin. Like Wisconsin a couple years ago, everybody in the building knew that they were running the football.
That's all they do.
They just did.
They're just better at it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's where it's just like perfect it and then and run it. So Eric and Lincoln says, why do a trick or fancy play on 3rd and 1 when you can bulldoze up the middle and get an easy first down? Keep it simple.
Because sometimes you can't bulldoze it up the middle.
Well, and also, I don't know if Nebraska's had the personnel. Has Nebraska had a Jacques Yant in recent years outside of Divino Zigbo, which Divino Zigbo had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying, that's why Adrian was forced to run all the time, is because they didn't trust anybody in the backfield. This year, it feels different. It feels like they can trust a guy like a Gabe Ervin, even though he's a freshman. You can trust a guy like Marquise Stepp because he has that Power 5 experience at the Pac-12 level at a school like USC, who, yes, the stats in terms of wins and losses for the Trojans haven't been great the last couple of years. However, still Power 5 football in the Pac-12 conference, and he had to beat out other dudes at USC. And so they're able to trust a guy like him. Yeah, we never saw the whole Luke McCaffrey run last year again, and that was a whole big deal that, hey, it worked once, why not do it again? Listen, I personally don't know all the X's and O's. I don't know all the playbooks.
You know what else worked once and then everybody kept complaining because they kept doing it? Swing passes.
When did it work? I'm just kidding.
Maurice Washington, Colorado.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that was kind of something that they must have felt confident in. They had to. Like this coaching staff.
Other teams run it. Ohio State runs it. Clemson runs it. Alabama runs it. Iowa run. Like everybody runs. Everybody has a swing pass in their arsenal. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. If you get the right blocking, it can be a big play.
Yeah.
If you get the wrong blocking, which unfortunately Nebraska has a lot of the times that they've run it, it's not a good play. So it's just up to everybody doing their job, taking accountability and getting things right.
Yeah, it goes back to the accountability thing with the whole penalties and everything. We've had multiple texts, false starts, penalties, turnovers, all those discipline things. Hey, you have 3 games right out of the gate, 3 relatively easy games in terms of compared to the rest of your schedule, that you have a chance to iron those things out, and it's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take advantage of some opportunities, whether that is against Fordham, whether it's against Illinois, whether it's against Buffalo. You need to take a chance, you need to take the opportunities. And if that means stepping on their throat when you're up 20, do it.
Get everything perfect. And once you get everything perfect and you're up by enough, you get your backups in. You work on getting everything perfect with them. Once you get everything perfect, then you head to Oklahoma. And then you win by 2 scores. And then everybody's happy.
And I said, earlier that they have the running backs in the room now that they can trust. And Frost said this today, and he said it. He was asked about Ryan Held, and it was, how is Ryan Held's job? How's he done so far with everything going on? And here is Coach Frost.
Yeah, Coach Held is an important part of our team, and he's doing a good job getting those guys up to speed, and I think we'll have several guys ready to go for us.
So several guys, take that from what you want. I know that's not a lot of context there. However, I am confident in what Coach Held is able to do with Jacques Yant. I'm confident in Marquise Stepp, Gabe Ervin,
and
Jaquez.
Yeah, we got the media guide. Happer and Schaefer were reading through it. The pronunciations.
Jaquez.
I believe it was Jaquez. It's not Jacques.
I think I said Jacques because it's just easier and I didn't want to butcher it otherwise.
It's cooler, but I believe it's Jaquez.
All right, so Jaquez Yant, there's that guy that everybody's been hoping for.
Jaquez. One of
Yance.
these is true. It's Yance.
It's Yance.
Yeah.
Yance, the guy that everybody's been kind of wanting. All Husker fans have kind of wanted.
The big body back.
Big body back that you can give it to on 3rd and 1. It eliminates that swing pass that everybody hates. Mr. Unlimited, or excuse me. Yeah, Mr. Unlimited. Swing passes are absolute junk. The teams that you named that run them well were all college football playoff teams. But going back to the swing passes are junk.
So how are they junk if they were college football playoff teams and they run them? It's not a junk play. It was just junk when Nebraska ran it and they didn't block correctly.
Level of execution.
If you get it right, it's a really good play. If you have the right weapons on the outside to get the ball to, you have the right receivers or tight ends to get out there and make the correct blocks, not miss a block, you can turn that into a big play. It's not a junk play. It works. That's why they run it. They ran it at UCF multiple times and it worked. A couple times for Nebraska, it's worked. More often than not, it hasn't worked because they haven't had the right personnel out there, or the personnel that's been out there just hasn't done their job correctly, and the play's been blown up. It works. They're going to run it this year.
I think also part of it is not a whole lot worked for Nebraska last year. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, there's also
and
that.
When you're able to, like this year, personally, I'm expecting Nebraska to be able to throw the ball. I'm expecting Adrian Martinez to be able to throw the ball to the wide receivers. Our wide receiver room is much more improved.
That is true.
Samori Toure, Omar Manning's going to see the field. Still have Alante Brown that we have not heard about. You hear about him, but there's not a whole lot going on there. Will Nixon, if he gets playing time behind Samori Toure in the slot, Xavier Betts is still on campus. Then you have those guys, Levi Folk, Wyatt Lever. You have those guys still.
Oliver Martin. See? Oliver Martin's going to be a guy that's a 1 or 2, he said last press conference. Oliver Martin's played at 2 other Power 5 schools.
Yeah, it was interesting. Last week when Oliver Martin was asked what like practices are like compared to here to Michigan to Iowa, he said that everything's kind of the same. Nebraska's just is more intense and more like circuit style. And so that was interesting to hear. He said that last Thursday when the whole investigation debacle came down. But no, yeah. So like our wide receiver room, Nebraska's wide receiver room is much more improved, and it's going to be something that hopefully is a strong point on this offense. And if you're able to extend the field and push the football down the field and open up the running game a little bit, you can kind of keep the opponent's defense on their toes.
I mean, the receiver room is the thing that I am most looking forward to with this team this year. Going back to where we kind of started. So just looking at that, I understand we're going to get this. People are going to say this. They're very unproven. There's not much production coming back in the receiver room. You know, oh, you had Omar Manning. He was hurt or he just didn't play last year, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to say about that. But there's so much talent there. There's so much skill. There's guys who haven't proven it yet for Nebraska, but have proven that they're pretty darn good in other places where you get them the ball, they're playmakers, get them the ball, and get out of the way.
Yeah. 402-464-5685. Unnamed texter says, has anyone heard an update on Fredonia if he might be back early? Sounds like, I mean, rehab's going well. If you pay attention to his social media stuff, then he posts videos of him squatting, and I think he was squatting 300 plus the other day. So, I mean, looks like the knee's holding up with Fredonia. It sounds like Frost said, at his introductory or the first fall press conference that everything's kind of on track to be back during the season. I don't know. It might be too early to tell if he'll be back earlier than planned. But also Austin Allen talked today, and he just kind of said that, like, you could kind of tell that fall camp has been a grind on him. And there was that whole deal last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, when we heard about Vokalek's injury, and then there was, the Chancellor Brewington talk of, man, Chancellor Brewington able to step up at the tight end position. And even though he came in as a wide receiver and not a very highly touted recruit, Chancellor Brewington, but he was making some waves at the tight end position. You still have Chris Hickman from Omaha Burke in there that came in as a one position, went to wide receiver, then went to special teams, kind of got some work at special teams, but now is back at tight end. And so you hear that he's finally getting his stride back at tight end. And then, you still have James Carney, who's the freshman. We still have James Carney, who's the freshman from Norris. Obviously, Fedoni's there. Like, the tight end room is supposed to be pretty strong.
People forget AJ Rollins.
AJ Rollins from Creighton Prep. And so you kind of feel like Nebraska's going to use their tight ends quite a bit. And they did at UCF. I remember one play vividly in their bowl game against Auburn. I don't remember the tight end's name, but it was like the first play of the game. It was just a quick seam up the middle from the tight end. And Mackenzie Milton got it to him quick, and bam, 20 yards, just like that. Those are the plays that can set up your running game. Those are the plays that can set up
the outside passing game.
Yes. There you go. And maybe sneak in a quick run or two every now and then. Here's this question off the text line. If our receiver room is much improved and Martinez still can't get the ball to them, do we blame it on the receivers again, or do we actually place blame on Martinez?
We're not going to have to worry about that unnamed texter, because he's going to get the ball to the receivers, and they are going to be really talented, and it's going to be a good time. That's it.
I think you just have to be realistic and understand that there's so many other things that go on in the middle of a play, that if there was miscommunication on routes, if there's a look that's downfield that the receiver just didn't read the DB correctly, if it was on an option route, like there's so many
the corner gets hands on you sooner than you expect and he throws you off your route. The timing is off, because especially with this offense, it's all about timing. If the receiver isn't in the exact spot that Martinez is expecting him to be in at a certain time when he takes his however many step drop or when he goes through his reads, that poses a problem for him, and then that kind of throws everything off for the rest of the play. So it's such a finely tuned machine. One little thing can throw the whole thing off.
Also, I feel like Nebraska fans have blamed Martinez.
Everybody's blamed Martinez, and I'm not here for it. We already said this is a pro Martinez show.
No, I mean, go back to last year. People were calling for Luke McCaffrey.
It's true.
Because and 2 years ago, people were calling for Luke McCaffrey. I remember being in Memorial Stadium for the Northwestern game, a game that Nebraska won by basically like a walk-off field goal.
Yeah, they did.
And Adrian Martinez had one bad play or made a bad throw, or they missed a fourth down conversion. And that stadium started chanting Luke. Like,
Nebraska. And then you guys wonder why, and then people wonder why, athletes' mentalities are fragile, or in certain states, you make one mistake and everybody's just calling for your job. Granted, he hadn't been playing well the entire year, but I mean, he hadn't been playing terrible. He hadn't been playing awful, where you take a true freshman unproven quarterback who'd only started a quarterback for 1 year in high school and throw him into the flames. It's a rough situation being in Martinez's shoes, and to have the lack of weaponry that he's had surrounding him for his time at Nebraska, except for, I mean, his freshman year, he had weapons. You saw what happened. His sophomore and junior year, not as many weapons. You saw what happened. This year, unproven, but lots of weapons. Now we wait and we see what happens.
Yeah, I just think I'm more confident in Martinez this year. He sounds different. He's been a captain the last couple years, and I know he sounds different. If you listen to the way he talks, how he talks, it's different. It sounds like he understands more of the off the field leadership role. It sounds like he understands the more on the field leadership role. And I understand that this is his 4th year in the system.
Yes.
But this is a guy that has had to battle adversity. He has adversity under his belt, which granted every quarterback does. But this is a guy that got benched last year, came back and looked out despite the Rutgers parts of the Rutgers game, played better. And so, Martinez, for us to say that Nebraska fans haven't been putting the blame on Adrian Martinez, I don't agree with, because people were calling for Logan Smothers last year. People were calling for Luke McCaffrey last year. So if that's not, if calling for a backup quarterback to take over, which happened last year and 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If calling for a backup quarterback and then getting him in there to play and it just still didn't work out, it kind of tells you that maybe something more is going on outside just the quarterback position.
You would
And
think
that's
so.
the problem. So when we come back, we're going to dive into the Illinois game a little bit more, probably play some more sound bites from today's presser because we got a lot of players to get through.
Lack of a depth chart from Illinois, lack of a depth chart from Nebraska.
Yes.
Let's see who fires first.
Place your bet. Who is it?
Who drops their depth chart first? Illinois or Nebraska?
Who do you think it is, Rico?
Probably Nebraska.
All right. Rico saying Nebraska 402-464-5685. We'll take your texts and calls next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Schaefer here with 5-star child care provider Lee Beecher from Bubbles and Blocks. Let's start with what makes Bubbles and Blocks special.
We have 3 beautiful locations in Lincoln that provide the safety, security, and reliability you need while also bringing a family feel to each classroom at every location.
I also hear some congratulations are in order.
Thank you. Yes, we just won the Lincoln Choice Award for Best Daycare and Preschool for the 3rd year in a row.
What should people do if they want to join the Bubbles and Blocks family?
Call to set up a tour to enroll your child today, or you can visit bubblesandblocks.com to apply to join our team.
If you're feeling past your prime with low libido, fatigue, or weight gain, you might be experiencing low T. At Vitalize Health, they can help treat low T and get you back on track. Ramey and Jackie have focused their careers on whole body wellness and can help with everything from testosterone replacement to Botox to help the outside match the inside and regain your youthful appearance. Vitalize Health does accept insurance. Call them today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Ready for this?
1, 2, 3, up.
At Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, we help rebuild the lives of people who've experienced traumatic illness and injury. With clinical expertise, cutting-edge research, and innovative technology, Madonna delivers world-class rehabilitation for adults and children. We restore hope one step, one word, and one breakthrough at a time, so our patients and their families can have confidence when we tell them, now you can. Learn more at Madonna.org.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at KoppelCars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at KoppelCars.com.
Have you been to Barn Wooden Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wooden Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wooden Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities.
Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. We get this off the text line. Stop acting like Martinez isn't turnover prone. He's played losing football several times. He's also proven to have some undeniable accuracy issues as well.
Me and the Sunday texter are going to fight.
Easy, Rico.
I never said Martinez was perfect. I just said I will not stand for Martinez slander on this show. He's not perfect. He has made many mistakes. He also completed 70% of his passes last year. And you can say, oh, well, they never attempted a pass over 10 yards downfield. Well, why is that? Why didn't they? Oh, is it because they didn't have weapons that they could get to the ball to 10 yards down the field because they couldn't get open themselves? That seems like a lack of weapons, which is what I was blaming this on. And I'm not only blaming this on lack of weapons. Martinez has messed up when he runs the ball, which he ran a lot last year, possibly because of lack of a running game. He fumbles a lot. He needs to work on the way he carries the ball. He carries it out too far. He doesn't protect it enough. So he is turnover prone when it comes to fumbles. Accuracy-wise, interception-wise, I think he's pretty good.
Being one of the captains, Martinez spoke today. He was asked if he has a certain slogan or a mantra that he's using this season that he's translating to the guys as well. And here's what he had to say on that.
I don't necessarily want to go with one slogan. There's been a couple things that I've stuck to personally that I will say I try and pass on to other guys, and something I heard from Coach Rude, and that's stacking days. It kind of goes with the day by day, the get better mantra, but it's really stuck with me, and I think it's resonated with a lot of the other guys on the team. And it's just about coming out each day and focusing, all right, I'm going to stack a day. I'm going to get better. I'm going to do something in some area on the field that's going to make me a better player, make us a better team.
I keep going back to that accountability thing. I want to make this very clear. I am not saying Martinez is the best quarterback in the Big Ten. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the country. But I'm saying that I am going to hold him accountable if he needs to be held accountable. I'm all for that.
Understandable.
I opened up the show talking about how this team now just seems like they're holding people accountable. There was that whole thing with fires and getting them before they reach Scott Frost's desk and stuff. I'm all for that. But that's a quarterback that sounds like he gets it. Like he gets what is needed to lead a team, dare I say, to a divisional title. I'm not saying Nebraska's going to win the division.
You dare say. I mean, you kind of did.
No, I'm saying it's a guy that sounds like he understands what it's going to take.
Oh, okay. You still kind of said.
And so maybe I did. But we're also 5 days out from Illinois. I saw this today. Speaking of Illinois, 5 days away, if you haven't heard. Nebraska's a 7-point favorite, which I think is a decent. Are we covering? Is Nebraska?
Yes.
Are we choosing Nebraska to cover?
I am choosing Nebraska to win by 2 touchdowns or more. That is me. I do not know what you're doing.
What if they don't?
They don't? Depends on how good they look, I guess.
Okay.
I think if they perform well, if the defense performs the way that they should have performed last year against Illinois, that they performed against other teams that they faced last year, or the way that they should perform this year, granted that allowing that they're bringing back so many people this year. You've had another year of experience on the year in the system, learning the plays, knowing knowing that you can trust the person to your left, to your right, and behind you to make a play if you mess up, and knowing exactly where to be at certain times, this defense should be able to stop this new offense of Illinois, because it's going to be a new offense. They're not going to run the same thing they ran last year. And the offense, with the unproven talent, but the talent that they have, should be able to put up some points.
We talk about, I've said it multiple times since we've started this show, and I've said it before on other shows, is there's opportunity here with these first 3 games, especially Illinois. Look at it just game by game, right? Nebraska has an opportunity to stack up some quality, disciplined football games here at the beginning of the season before they head to Norman. And part of being a disciplined team and playing good football, 2 things: limit the penalties, limit the turnovers. 2 things in the last couple of years Nebraska hasn't been great at.
They've been bad at both. You can say it.
Yes.
They've been really bad at both.
They've been bad at both. Defense, strong, right? We all agree defense is probably the stronger side of the ball for Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. And
there's a lot of potential on the offensive side of the ball, a lot of experience and confidence in the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, and with more trust in the offense that the defense has this year, they could take more chances and force more turnovers, which is what this defense is built for. This defense is not built to stand up against a Wisconsin running game, running the ball 12 times in a series and taking off 8 minutes of clock. This defense is meant for, Wisconsin will run it a couple times during the drive, and if they try to pass it, you're going for the pick, or while they're running it, you're attempting to strip the ball. Maybe you give up a longer run than is expected, but in case you do get the ball taken away, you have faith in the offense getting the ball and scoring the ball.
The last couple of games against Illinois have been close. If not, Nebraska's come back and kind of pulled away late. Here's the stats from the last 3 games against Illinois. Illinois has scored at least 30.
Not great.
Nebraska has turned it over twice in 2018, 4 times in 2019, 5 times last season. Last season, obviously, was one of the worst games we saw Nebraska play. Maybe you can throw statistically, it was probably the worst. With they were -5 in the turnover department, -98 in terms of yards.
There's just a bad game that started off terrible.
With Luke McCaffrey at quarterback.
Well, not just him at quarterback.
I just want to say that.
Okay. I was just saying the fumble.
I just want to say Luke McCaffrey started that game.
That he did.
Adrian came in and got it somewhat closer. Parker Gabriel of the Lincoln Journal-Star tweeted this out earlier. In the last 2 seasons, Nebraska has had 17 penalties for 136 yards solely against Illinois.
My goodness.
17 penalties. So that's 8.5 a game.
That is 6 too many. It's probably 8.5 too many, but that's 6 too many.
And
I'd be okay. Like, if they got 2 penalties a game, I'd be okay with that. Would everybody else be okay with that? Like, obviously, you want 0 penalties. You want none. You don't want them to be called for anything.
Limit them.
But if you get 2 penalties called on you a game, you good with that? Because I think everybody can live with that.
You kind of feel like there's probably going to be a pass interference play. Like there's going
to
be
happens on everybody.
Where a dude,
normally.
An official gets, flag happy, and that happens.
A little ticky tack.
Yeah, I mean it'll go in Nebraska's favor this year as well.
There should be at least one holding penalty against either team.
Yeah.
Each game, because there's a lot of holding going on.
And so, like I said before, I just wanted to put those stats in your guys' mind that we've been asking so many questions about Nebraska's offense. What's the running back going to look like? What's the wide receiver going to look like? And those are all valid questions, and rightfully so, because Nebraska's obviously going to need to score some points to win. However, going up against an offense with a new coach that doesn't really know, you can kind of, every player that was asked it today said the same thing. It was, it's going to be about in-game adjustments. It's going to be, you can watch what he's done at his previous stops, but it's going to be a lot of in-game adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're asking a lot of questions about what the offense is going to look like, but at the end of the day, defense is going to win, and this game's going to be won in the trenches.
Yeah. With the big boys up front on either side of the ball. Defensively, you would like to think Nebraska should have an advantage over Illinois' offense, the fact that they're returning so many people, but like you said, the lack of knowing exactly what this team is going to look like when they come out of the tunnel and when they, get ready for that first snap offensively or defensively. It's a little scary for both sides of the ball. Defensively, not as much because of all the experience, but still slightly terrifying because Brett Bielema could come out and just, I've run power run at Wisconsin. I ran power run at Arkansas. Maybe this Illinois team is built more for some type of air raid, but air, passing offense. Maybe Brett Bielema switches it up and he's trusting, other people to call the plays and make the offense look a little more pass happy. I mean, you never know.
I think Brandon Peters is going to be their starter at Illinois. So former Michigan guy, if I remember correctly. So I'm just saying, Nebraska don't turn over the football, but also the defense is going to have to force turnovers.
Yes.
Especially if it's a team, I just think that Nebraska, we've all, including myself, I opened up the show by asking questions about the offense. Rico mentioned the offensive line being one of his bigger concerns. There's still questions.
Just the left tackle.
Yeah.
That's it.
But the defense at the end of the day, and in the trenches, I suppose, that's what's going to win Nebraska this football game, because it's going to be physical. And I'm not expecting Nebraska to shy away from that. I am very confident that Nebraska is not going to shy away from that.
I mean, with what Damian Daniels said today, where the coaches had to tell the offensive and defensive lines to chill out during fall camp because they were shoving each other to the ground. Defense was getting pancake. The defenders were shoving offensive linemen to the ground and getting past them real heavy. I think the physicality part of this game is not going to be lost on the pipeline or on the defensive line.
Good stuff there. When we come back, we are going to take one final timeout. When we come back, Rico and I will give our official schedule Nebraska football record predictions. Are we going to write them on the board?
Yeah.
Is there room on the board?
Yeah, I can make room.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
They're going to be on the board. It's going to be official. We'll do that next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at koppelcars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at koppelcars.com.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
Starting the right career is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You want to enjoy your career, be challenged, have fun, earn a great weekly paycheck, and work for a great company. If you're looking for a career change or right out of high school, the John Henry's Plumbing Apprentice Program may be the perfect answer. You'll get paid while getting hands-on training. We focus on your skills while you engage in real-world learning. Why not join the John Henry's team today? Apply at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation and offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Have you been to Barnwood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barnwood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barnwood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here one final time on the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. Before we break down this schedule, I want to mention, in case you missed it, before all the Husker football players and personnel did their press conference, John Cook had his press conference. Almost 8,000 people in the stands this weekend for the scrimmage. 7,940 people was the official number. Lexi Sun looked as great as always with 16 kills. Nicklin Hames went down with a scare. Doesn't look like she's gonna play this weekend. They play Tulsa and like Kansas State, and Colgate are in town for a the pod thing. But Allie Bentonhorse had a great outburst in her debut. Nicklin Hames, though, John Cook said that nothing's broken there. Just don't expect her to play this weekend. So good news there for Husker volleyball fans.
Thank goodness.
They open up the season August 27th, which is Friday, at 11 a.m. against Tulsa.
I am hyped for this volleyball season. It's going to be great.
A lot of high-power incoming freshmen.
I am wondering when Lauren Stivrins comes back.
Yes, that's a
and how many freshmen play and how much they play. Because I think we're going to get a decent dose of freshmen this year.
Yeah, there's Kennedy Orr from, I believe, Minnesota. There's Allie from Texas, who had 8 kills, I believe, on Saturday. And so there's a lot of high-powered talent, young and old, down at the Devaney Center.
They had, their last year, or the year before's recruiting class, they had the National Volleyball Player of the Year, like high school wise, the Gatorade Volleyball Player of the Year, and like the AVCA or something Volleyball Player of the Year, and they were not the same person. They were 3 separate people.
It's crazy what John Cook's doing. All right, Rico, are you ready?
I am prepared. Are you ready?
I am. We're going to write this on the board. It's going to be official.
Officially official.
We have a few minutes left, so we're going to go through this relatively quick, a little bit of breakdown on each game. Not too much, I suppose. All right. First game is this Saturday, Nebraska, Illinois. I am taking the Huskers.
As am I.
All right. We're both 1-0. Fordham comes to town next the following week. Nebraska. Okay, 2-0. Buffalo comes to town the next week.
Nebraska.
Okay, 3-0 for both of us. Nebraska, Oklahoma, down in Norman. Boomer.
I will never say that.
Boomer Sooner.
I think Nebraska keeps it close. I don't think they come out with the win.
I would like to say Nebraska is going to keep it close. However, Nebraska could play very good football. in terms of where their program is at and still lose by 28.
I don't think they lose by that much. I've said it the entire forever since I've been here. The best time to catch Oklahoma is early in the season.
Yeah.
I still don't think they win. I think they keep it really close. I think it's respectable.
All right. So I still 3-1, 3-1.
3-1 for both of
Okay,
us.
because we both had Oklahoma. Nebraska, Michigan State. This is a very important game coming off that Oklahoma game to see how Nebraska bounces back or
Falls apart.
Even if they win, see how they build off of it or falls apart. I have Nebraska going on the road and being able to top Michigan State. Scott Frost finally beats Mel Tucker.
That's what I was going to say. Revenge game against Mel Tucker. Scott Frost finally gets it done.
All right, 4-1 from both of us. Northwestern comes to town the following week to play Nebraska. I think Northwestern, they just have to replace too many people. Cam Porter went down with an injury that's going to take him out for the season. Hunter Johnson, not buying in on Hunter Johnson. And so I think Nebraska is going to be able to get it done. Regardless of who Northwestern's quarterback is, they have to replace over 70% of their offensive production, and there's a lot of missing parts on defense as well. Nebraska gets it done.
I mean, you took everything I was going to say, except for the fact that I was going to say it more simply. Northwestern has to replace a lot of people. I don't think they can do it. Nebraska.
All right, that's a 5-1 start.
5-1.
All right,
they're in the top 25.
Are they? Does it matter at that point if they're in the top 25 based on what they did against Oklahoma?
I think they have okay. This is going to sound weird.
Okay.
And probably nobody's going to agree with me.
Wow. Rico's saying something weird.
I think if they take care of business handily against their first 3 opponents, there's a chance that they could be like 25th, not any higher.
Okay. Or it could be one of those things where it's like the coaches poll,
Yeah.
not in the AP poll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like 2 spots out of, being in the top 25.
All right. So we're 5-1 through 6 games. Here we go, folks. Fasten your seatbelts. Michigan at Nebraska. Who do you have, Rico?
I believe that Nebraska fans will welcome Michigan in with open arms and treat them very nicely and not mention anything about the title that doesn't belong to them at all.
Yep.
And that Michigan will leave holding their heads high that they played a good game but couldn't come out with a win.
Okay. In a roundabout way, we both are 6-1.
Oh my goodness. This is disgusting.
Nebraska at Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota.
I am going Nebraska. Sink the boat.
I think Minnesota is going to surprise quite a few people this year. Experienced quarterback in Tanner Morgan, experienced running back in Mo Ibrahim. And so I think that Minnesota will get it done at home against Nebraska. So that means Nebraska's 6-2.
7-1 for me.
7-1 for you. Going into Purdue at Nebraska. Rico, who do you got?
I think this game is actually extremely close for absolutely no reason. I think Nebraska wins by like a touchdown. For no reason whatsoever. Except for they might be beat up after Michigan and Minnesota.
Can I say this? I think Nebraska is either going to lose against Michigan or Purdue.
One of those two is a loss? So that
Yes.
means you're picking Purdue.
I have to.
Wow. That would be a disgusting loss.
But it just kind of feels like there always has to be one.
No, yeah, you're right.
So I think that one's going to be it. Ohio State, Nebraska, Ohio State.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with the Buckeyes on that one.
Okay, Nebraska at Wisconsin. I'll take Wisconsin.
I am going to go Wisconsin.
Okay. Which I'm not buying in Graham Mertz. I will say I am not a Graham Mertz guy.
If Wisconsin wins, it's not because of Graham Mertz.
Yeah, it's fine. It's because they found a running back, which they're playing him second to last week of the season. So hopefully by then Wisconsin's found a running back. Then lastly, Iowa, Nebraska, 12:30 kickoff on Black Friday. Rico.
Revenge.
Yeah, I will go as well.
All right.
Nebraska. So is that 8-4?
You have them 7-4.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Did I miss one?
That does not make sense because there's 12 games in a season.
I think it might be 8-4. I might have missed one.
I think it's 8-4 because my 4 losses were either Michigan or Purdue. So one there,
you have
Oklahoma,
the 2.
Ohio State, Wisconsin. Yep, 8-4.
Okay.
Okay. 8-4, and that's winning 50-50 games, which is something.
9-3, baby.
That's winning 50-50 games, which is something that disciplined football in the first 3 games of the season against Illinois, Buffalo, Fordham. That's something that
That's where the discipline for the rest of the season will be instilled.
Yeah, because you hope some of that carries over into a game like Northwestern. Even though Northwestern has to replace a lot, it's still going to be a hard-fought game.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just hope that some of that transfers over, and I kind of expect it will. 12 black shirts were handed out today. Cam Taylor-Britt got his from Trev Alberts. Deontay Williams got his from Eric Shenander. Markel Dismuke joined them in the secondary for black shirts. 4 guys on the defensive line: Stilley, Damian Daniels, Ty Robinson, and DeAndre Thomas. Thomas got his first black shirt there.
3 in the defensive backfield, the 2 safeties and Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yep. We are 5 days away from Illinois. Get excited, folks. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Adios.
Mike Schaefer here with 5 Star Child Care.